From sea to shining sea, we stand so tall. Voices raised for freedom where we all call. Pledges made with open hearts under the starry sky. Learning from the past, we find our way today. 9 o'clock rings, proud and aligned we stand. TFs whisper softly, bravery we understand. Rising together through trials and strife, our unity strong like a bond of life. We gather at 9, hand in hand we hold. For freedom's sake, our voices bold and bold. Through history's lessons, we find our strength. Together we rise, with hope and our length. From every corner, we come with a purpose, united in spirit and freedom's great trust. No matter the challenge, we face it as one, with open hearts and minds. Our future is one. TFs echo softly, a symbol of might. Bravery in our hearts, in unity we fight. We gather at 9, hand in hand we'll hold. For freedom's sake, our voices bold and bold. Through history's lessons, we find our strength. Together we rise, with hope as our length.
In the early 1770s, the American colonies were thick with unrest. Parliament's Tea Act of 1773 ignited anger across the colonies by offering the East India Company a monopoly on tea sales in America, a move viewed not simply as commerce, but coercion. Charleston, South Carolina, a vital port city rich with merchants and politics, simmered beneath its genteel exterior. Though not as theatrical as Boston, the city's resolve was strong. Historian Edward McCready described it best. Quote, Charleston had a profound sense of justice, and its leaders understood the dangers of remaining silent. End quote. On December 3, 1773, the British ship Britannia docked on Charleston Harbor. It carried several chests of East India Company tea, and locals were ready. That very day, leading patriots, including the outspoken Christopher Gadsden, convened in the great room of the Exchange Building, one of Charleston's most prestigious civic spaces. There, amid polished floorboards and gas lamps, resolutions were passed. From the South Carolina Gazette, a contemporary report read, quote, "We will not receive the tea. Let it be stored, not sold, not consumed, but held as a symbol of our refusal." End quote. Unlike Boston's defiant dumping into the harbor, Charleston's strategy was quiet. Store the tea under lock and key in the basement of the old Exchange and Provost Dungeon. Ironically, this building would later imprison American patriots during the British occupation. And so the tea sat, forgotten but not gone. For nearly 3 years, the chests remained untouched beneath Charleston's cobbled streets, each one sealed, each one untouched. No citizen consumed the tea, no merchant moved it. This passive protest echoed louder than any splash into Boston Harbor. Years later, during the British occupation of 1780, the stored tea was finally discovered and consumed by British troops. But by then, its symbolic value had already steeped into local lore. Gadsden's later writings reflect that quiet defiance. Quote, "We held our ground with silence more deafening than any shout." End quote. Charleston's tea rebellion wasn't a lone act. It was guided by a constellation of influential leaders: Henry Lawrence, John Rutledge, and Charles Pinckney, among others. They championed non-importation agreements, encouraging citizens to reject British goods. Their tone was firm, their resolve unflinching. Lawrence, who would become the president of the Continental Congress, wrote in 1774, quote, "If we are to be taxed, let it be by those we elect, not those who decree from a throne." End quote. The resistance in Charleston was deliberately restrained, but highly strategic. The city leaned on economic warfare, avoiding spectacle, but embracing conviction. Boston's Tea Party, held on December 16, 1773, was bold and visual. Disguised patriots dumped 342 chests of tea into the harbor in dramatic fashion. Charleston's protest, by contrast, was silent and strategic. Yet both cities refused the same tea, rejected the same law, and challenged the same empire. Historian Richard B. Morris, in The Road to Independence, noted, quote, "Charleston chose protest by delay, an equally defiant and effective method." End quote. The rebellion's subdued nature doesn't diminish its weight. It reflects the South's pragmatic style of resistance, less theatrical, no less powerful. Gadsden was South Carolina's answer to Samuel Adams. A fiery orator and seasoned merchant, he founded Charleston's chapter of the Sons of Liberty and designed one of America's most enduring symbols, the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. He balanced strategy with defiance. In a 1775 letter to James Otis, Gadsden wrote, quote, "Let us proceed as gentlemen, but do not mistake our civility for surrender." End quote. His arrest during British occupation and imprisonment in St. Augustine underscored his commitment. He refused parole because it required swearing allegiance to the crown. Though often overlooked, Charleston's tea rebellion left a durable imprint. It showed that strategic resistance could be just as effective as dramatics, that holding ground could speak volumes. The stored tea, never consumed by patriots, stood as a metaphor for independence and restraint. Charleston's people didn't need a harbor full of leaves. They needed resolve. The old exchange, still standing today, houses not just history, but memory. Beneath its floorboards once lay a protest, quiet but resounding. As Charleston stepped into independence, its story remained a reminder. Some revolutions boil, others steep.
Under the starry sky we gather, honoring heroes past and present. Their bravery, our light to follow. United we stand forever. Raising the flag, in honor they rise. Stars shining bright in memory of the wise. We come together under one sky. United we rise for freedom's high. Memories of valor in our hearts they stay. Fighting for what's right day by day. Through storms and sunshine we hold strong. With every step our spirits align. Raising the flag, in honor they rise. Stars shining bright in memory of the wise. We come together under one sky. United we rise for freedom's high. Raising the flag, in honor they rise. Stars shining bright in memory of the wise. We come together under one sky. United we rise for freedom.